Hey, this is Peggy with Easy Peasy Machine Embroidery, and today I am in MySewNet Platinum, and I am going to show you some of the new tools that are in the PhotoStitch module. So I'm going to start out in a blank canvas, and those of you who know me know that I don't do any PhotoStitch that's less than a 200 by 200 hoop. And we are going to go up to the Create tab and into the PhotoStitch wizard. And I'm going to do a PhotoStitch into the hoop. And I'm going to do color PhotoStitch. And I'm going to load a picture. And let's see if I have a picture to work with. PhotoStitch folder. Ooh, I'm going to pick on Miss Emma today, Emmeline. And I'm going to go backwards, and then I'm going to go into Edit Picture. That is where you're going to find all of the toys. And then we're going to go into the Paint tab. And the picture is kind of immaterial here because I'm not going to be doing a whole lot with the picture. What I want to do is show you the tools. And notice how on my screen, this tab, this is going to cover the ribbon bar is covering up a whole lot. So I am going to minimize the ribbon bar. And when that's not checked, notice that I'm missing some tools. And I'm going to tell you, when I first started working with this PhotoStitch, there was a whole section of tools down here that I was not aware of. So if you don't see those tools, check minimize the ribbon and it will bring up some tools. So you have soft edges and hard edges. And it's kind of hard to see. I'm going to zoom in here. That is a soft edge. And this is a hard edge. And right now you really can't see a whole lot of difference. But when I zoom in a little closer, you can see that this edge right here is a little softer than this edge. Okay. Control Z gets rid of that. There's your line tool. No big deal. We've had that before. I also want to mention that if some of your tools don't work, for instance, there's a tool down here that if I am in soft edges, it'll be grayed out. But if you are in hard edges, it will show up and you can use it. And basically, that's just adding lines. I'm going to back up here. I did a Control Z. I'm going to go back out to the regular photo. And I am going to use the flood fill tool. We've had that before. I can take the flood fill and I can just change a color as long as it's a solid color. That's helpful on solid color backgrounds. Now we have a blur tool. Now, this is a new feature. And I am going to, whoops, I'm still in the other one. And notice how the blur tool doesn't work unless I put the soft edges on. And if I click and keep clicking, notice how that edge becomes blurred. And I can just blur those edges by left clicking and keep blurring those edges. Okay? And I'm going to do a Control Z and take it back to normal. The same thing with the highlight. So if you see on your picture that something is a little dark, you can use that highlight tool. I'm going to make my brush a little smaller and highlight it. And that's not really a good example. And you can go with a very soft brush. And I'm left clicking, and that lightened it up considerably. So light brush versus a harder brush. Okay? We can lighten up under her eyes a little bit. And I'm just left clicking. I took the flood tool here and I changed the color to white and I lightened up the eyes. And it looks kind of strange here, but when I turn the opacity down, that's much better. Okay? So there's a lot there that you can play with. Now you have the low light. So the low light is going to darken some things. So if I wanted to darken, gotta go back here. If I wanted to darken, let's make a bigger brush here, this area, I can just darken that. The same thing, it makes a huge difference if you use that color intensity wand to make it so it's more opaque. Okay, so that's something that's kind of cool. I can't remember where I used the large scatter, small scatter, but I used it for something. I'm trying to think. Oh, I used it on a bird that had some speckles or something. And basically, you can see it right now. If I zoom in, you can see it a little closer. It's just adding some speckles onto that white. And again, your opacity will make it lighter and darker. Then you have the erase to get rid of a background, or you can do a flood erase. Okay, we've had some of those tools before. And I'm just doing Control Z to get rid of all the things I've just done. We've had red eye before, and I believe we've had the rotate before. This one, again, is a scale image. That's your image size and whatnot. But this right here is your effects menu. And oh my goodness, did I have a aha moment when I found that little tool. So you have the brightness, and it is going to brighten the whole picture. Or darken the whole picture. And you have the contrast. You just got to go in here and play. And oh my goodness. And when I find, I have, if you were to look into my PhotoStitch folder, you'll see that I have like, I don't know, 7 or 8 versions of this picture because I kept playing and playing and playing. There's the negative. And you keep playing with these scales. And I would, there's your saturation. We've had saturation. Sepia, colorize. If you want to change the color to a certain color hue. A color filter, reverse. There's your blur that you can really blur it out. I don't see a whole lot of change on that one. Despeckle, I am thinking that it might have something to do with the photos. You know how they do a certain finish that kind of looks like a sparkle on a water? I'm wondering if it has something to do with that. I haven't tried it out yet because I don't have any pictures like that, but um, I don't know if maybe if there was a lot of speckles on a photo or something, it would remove them. Not sure about that because I haven't had a sample to mess with. Monochrome is your black and white. You can get some cool effects there. Okay. And reduce colors. I often, on my PhotoStitch, will reduce colors. Sometimes we do it by eliminating different, you know, decreasing the number of threads, or thread colors, I mean. So you have all these different tools to play with. And there is a sharpen. If you have a little picture that's just a tiny bit out of focus, you can sharpen it a little bit. So those are some of the new tools. Oops, I left something on. Anyway, I'm not going to save this picture, so no biggie. Get in there and play with these tools. You find something you like, you always save, 19 different versions of your picture, and then you can go ahead and run them through the software and see what they actually look like. Another thing I'm going to say with this picture, let's go back. With this picture, when I actually did something with this picture, I actually took, whoops, let's see if I can, I actually took the pencil and I highlighted the eyebrows. I added more to the lips. I think I did the eyelash line. So I added some color to that. I think I actually added some white to the eyeball, to the eye. Um, and you can always after you've spun the picture, you can always go backwards and go back into edit to correct things as you see that they need to be done. The first time I did this picture, the face, you could barely see the lips or the eyes, the eyebrows. You could barely see any of that. So that's why I used the pencils and added some extra highlighting to the picture. Okay, so those are the extra tools that are in the new PhotoStitch, and hope you've enjoyed this video. Hope give me a like, leave a comment. Um, Catch you later. Bye.